Alright, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. Just headed home from the gym. It was pole day. We went at 9:30 today. And yeah, it was pretty good. We were like halfway through and I already couldn't straighten my left arm because my biceps were so tight already. So it was a good day. But anyways, today at the gym, I finished that Alex Hormozi interview, which was really good, by the way. I talked about it a lot yesterday. Actually, that was like what the majority of my video was on. Like what I talked about yesterday was that Alex Hormozi interview. But in this section, I think there must have been like 40 minutes left that I finished today. And he was talking about they were talking about religions and stuff and feelings and beliefs, and like one of the guys, I think it was like the audio guy, the camera guy, was like talking about how he just wants to be happy, and they were talking about relationships and stuff. But anyways, Alex Hormozi was saying that he was once a born again Christian, I think. No. Maybe, I don't know, I forget what he said. And then he started doing like this thing, I forget what he called it, but this thing where you go and you learn the arguments, like to argue for the religion when people try to say things against it. And he got to the point where he was like, well, when does it get, like, at what point are you 51% good enough to where you go to heaven and 49% bad? Like, where do you draw the line? And if you can draw the line, then like, is there a point to believing in it? Because it creates a false binary, he was saying. And then that he went on to say, I think he was talking about Christianity and Buddhism are different because it's only if you have belief is what determines if you'll go to heaven or the good place or not. But how do you know when you have 51% belief, and then that creates another false binary? And he's like, so I'm I forget what he said, but he where he believes when you die, you just die and then there's nothing after it. And his belief is like, where whatever happens to you, whether it's good or bad, it's not going to matter in 5, 10, 50 generations from now. So why, like, what's the point in like making a big deal out of it? Like, learn your lesson from it and move on. And he's like, so it really doesn't affect me, and I don't try to live in happiness, like, because when you say, oh, I'll be happy when I get this, or you're saying I want this, he said desires are signing a contract with yourself that you will be unhappy until you get what you want. And so he said, if you focus on your life on trying to be happy, then you'll never be happy, because there will always be something else that you don't have that you believe is going to make you happy. And then he was talking about this quote that he said, if he has one thing on his tombstone, it would be this. I forget who he said the quote. Put a picture up of the quote, and it was something about beliefs and questioning your beliefs. And he was basically saying, like, the beliefs that you believe so heavily in, you don't question because you don't know that they are just your beliefs. You think that they're like rules that you have to live by, like they're not really something that is optional for most people. Lots of people have these kinds of beliefs, and then some people have beliefs where they know our beliefs and they question them, and then they question other people's beliefs that don't align with their beliefs. And it was kind of a cool quote because it really gets you thinking about it. And yeah, so that was a really cool podcast. And then I was listening to another video. I forget the name of the guy that was being interviewed, but it was a real estate investor guy that was a stockbroker, and then he got into real estate. And I'll put it in the description, the link to these, if you want to watch them. They're really good videos. But he was talking about how all the rich people want real estate, because real estate is like one of the only things that will really make you passive income. And it's not completely passive, obviously, but like, for an example, if you own a building or a piece of property and you can rent it out for as long as you own it, and for as long as you own it, you'll be getting money coming in, cash flow, basically. If you've ever read Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad, Poor Dad, or ever heard of him, cash flow is the name of the game, because the more money you have coming in for not actively having to work for it, then the more money you'll just have in general. Because when you de-link your time to money is when you start making money. Where if you have to go, because you only have 24 hours in a day. So even if you were making $1,000 an hour and you could work for 24 hours a day, you're only going to make $24,000 a day. And I mean, that is a ridiculous amount of money, but that's your cap. Like, you can't ever make more than that. Where if you have real estate and people renting it out and you don't have to actively be there 24/7, then you can just keep buying more and more and more and stacking that money that's coming in. Eventually you stack it up so high, and then you have like millions coming in every month, and then you don't have to pay taxes with that money, because real estate has a lot of tax loopholes, and you can like depreciate your properties. And yeah, it's really cool. I think I really like the game. And that's another thing Alex Hormozy was talking about, was like the belief where people say, well, if you just enjoy the progress, then the goals will just come by themselves. So don't really focus on the goals. But he said, well, if you think about it that way, then you have to focus. The goals have to be important enough for you to love the process, to try and get to those goals. Because if the goals change, then you'll have a different process. And I thought that was really interesting too, because like, I mean, that's kind of what's happening with the whole gym and my fitness journey, is I just enjoy going to the gym now. But the whole goal behind starting it was like to get in better shape. And if that wasn't important, then I wouldn't have started to enjoy the process. So it's like, it's really cool. It's really interesting to listen to these people talk, because the things that they believe and the way that they look at the world is just amazing. And then when I come home and when I'm around the people that I'm around, which I need to change, it's hard because they don't have anywhere near these like similar beliefs. So it's difficult. And if you haven't heard the saying, you become the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. And that's scary for me. That is scary. That's one of the big reasons I need to move. But yeah, anyways, I'm going to wrap up the video there. Go watch those videos and join the Discord. All the links are going to be in the description. Subscribe, share the video with a friend, and thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.